All right, wanted to comment on my neighborhood, the Olympic Village, Falls Creek. Now, formerly, this used to be an industrial wasteland, but it's evolved into one of the city's most sought after communities. There were a few twists and turns, though, into getting established here, which I just want to go over briefly in this video. Olympic Village project, this was conceived as a master plan community to host the athletes during the 2010 Winter Olympics here. The vision was fairly ambitious at that time. It was to transform this basically derelict, again, industrial wasteland into a modern, sustainable neighborhood. Construction began with very high hopes, but the project soon encountered some fairly serious obstacles here. So this was started construction just prior to the 2008 financial meltdown, the subprime crisis in the US. And of course, that spilled over into Canadian real estate here. Olympic Village faced a series of setbacks. The market crash hit fairly hard, and that left these early pre-sale buyers in a very precarious position here, where the properties were worth substantially less than they paid for. The media seized on this, on reports of financial trouble, construction issues, and the narrative very quickly became one of a complete disaster. It was a shit show. And stories of leaky condos, financial waste, painted the Olympic Village as a very costly misstep for taxpayers, which at that time it was. The project's primary developer, Millennium Group, found itself in very dire straits, eventually declaring insolvency. However, keep in mind that Millennium had actually subcontracted the construction work to a company called ITC, which is known for very successful work on other high-profile projects like the amazing Brentwood. There's a lot of projects they have going on in Coquitlam, the city of Lougheed development. But at that time, people called into question the quality of the construction, which in my view was misguided. Yes, there needed to be some remediation work done, but the Olympic Village was largely built to a very high standard. So Bob Rennie took over this project, of course, the renowned condo king here. He took charge of remediation, and Rennie's involvement really marked a turning point. The Olympic Village at that time was rebranded to simply the Village on Falls Creek, just for marketing purposes, just to kind of change the conversation here. But I think fast forward to today, most people still call it the Olympic Village. That name never really stuck. Significant work was done to address the initial concerns. They completed the remediation work. And in 2010, it was basically a real estate fire sale in Falls Creek. I seized the opportunity to invest. At that time, you could get a one-bedroom condo in the Olympic Village. I think it was paid around $340,000, although there was HST at that time. My mom and dad, they had sold their house on Dunbar, and they acquired a stunning two-bedroom unit. They're still there to this day. Breathtaking waterfront views of Falls Creek. That was really a chance, in retrospect, to own a piece of what was considered a financial debacle. Fast forward to today, and the narrative has changed dramatically, and prices have changed to reflect that. Matter of fact, prices in the Olympic Village have nearly doubled since then. And they used to be at a significant discount to like a neighboring neighborhood like Yaletown. But now, in my opinion, in a lot of cases, these actually command a premium to these markets. The area has really shed its negative image. Unparalleled location here, the amenities, the gold medal club, the quality of the development. Of course, our location is nothing short of exceptional. We're steps away from the seawall, steps away from North America's largest unobstructed bike path, easy access to Vancouver's outdoor lifestyle. The lifestyle here is absolutely phenomenal. It's also a short walk to downtown, so you've got a blend of urban convenience without the hustle and bustle of downtown. I'm a huge proponent of downtown living, West End, Cole Harbour, Yaletown, but there's just a little more gentle density here on this side. Now, Olympic Village was designed by renowned architect Arthur Erickson. I think it's aged very well. It still looks brand new to me. I'm partial to the bridge building. So this would be 1616 Columbia. There's some spectacular views from this building. Spacious decks. They don't build them like this anymore. Nowadays, you can barely fit a club chair on some of these decks. You've got Canada House, phenomenal, boasting a really cool, sleek, modern design. Although I like the bridge because it's got very functional rectangular balconies, whereas Canada House is a little bit more chopped up. It's a very practical design. You can fit plenty of full-size club chairs for entertaining and a barbecue pit. They just don't build patios like this anymore. Also notable mention, the Kayak. This would be 1633 Ontario. Really nice units. Some of them have very nice quiet courtyard views with a beautiful water feature there. Now inside the units are outfitted with very high-end finishes, Eggersman cabinetry, top-tier appliance packages, Miele, Sub-Zero. You had a choice of three color palettes here. There was a lighter, a darker, and a black, kind of a bamboo finish. I'm partial to the lighter, personally. Just makes the spaces feel more open. But the one mark I'll put against it, the original Eco floors, okay, they're meant to be eco-friendly. They're a laminate, but they're not that durable. They can be damaged easily. They're prone to warping from water damage. So if you buy one of these with the original floors and they're in good condition, that's fine. Just take good care of them. Myself, I ended up, my floors were damaged, but I opted for the wide plank, white oak, engineered hardwood, and I think that's a worthwhile upgrade if you're spending $1.5–2 million on a condo, because it's virtually indestructible. It's very durable, and also just really visually, it looks a lot nicer than the laminate. One area that requires a balanced perspective is we do have the occasional transient activity. We do have mental health, substance abuse. There's a lot of these social housing complexes here, although they're building these everywhere. You can't escape it. But I would argue the situation's fairly manageable compared to, say, downtown. We do get the odd transient here, but there are a lot of young families, and I find these guys like to stay kind of out of sight here. Pricing. So today, the Olympic Village real estate market reflects its revitalized status. One-bedroom units with the right exposure views. I'm going to say they approach the mid 800s to mid 900s. I looked at a couple that were spectacular last weekend, both priced in the high 9s. So they're getting up there, but you can still get a studio, let's call it in the mid 600s, smaller one bedrooms from, let's call it the low to mid 700s. Now, for a two-bedroom unit with the right floor plan and view, you're going to expect to invest between about 1.5, 1.6 to 2.5, I'm going to say, conservatively. But, the luxury market has recognized the Village. It's a desirable location, and it's really the new hotspot in Vancouver. I personally know of several top-producing realtors that live here because they understand it's expensive, but they still understand that it's a good value proposition here. So in summary, Olympic Village has gone from an industrial wasteland, a blight, to a premier urban destination. And what was once seen as a financial fiasco has become a very thriving community. And of course, the neighborhood continues to grow and evolve. I'm very bullish on this market here. I'm Jay Coupar. Feel free to comment below or subscribe. If you do want a complimentary market evaluation, click that green icon, and I'll see you in the next video.